President Moon Jae-in has been named one of the 3 winners of this year's Global Citizen Awards by a world-renowned U.S. think tank in recognition of his contribution to democracy. Our Mok-yeon highlights the significance of President Moon being named an honoree this year.
The 2017 Global Citizen Awards kicked off on Tuesday evening at the Intrepid Sea, Air and Space Museum in New York. South Korean President Moon Jae-in has been selected as one of this year's honorees, along with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Chinese pianist Lang Lan. The event is held by the Atlantic Council, an American think tank that works to promote positive engagement in international relations. For the past 7 years, the Council has been giving the Global Citizen Award to influential figures from around the world who have played a major role in promoting democracy and civic awareness.
The Global Citizen Awards exist to recognise those who best exemplify global citizenship through their work and through their efforts to improve the state of the world. And been running for several years now, and it has been given primarily to the heads of state and government of a number of countries.
The Council says that President Moon was chosen this year for 2 main reasons.
The consideration that went into choosing President Moon was, I think, around 2 aspects. Firstly, the work throughout his career to promote human rights, his work as a human rights lawyer. But secondly, for his work more recently to diffuse the tensions with North Korea and contribute to regional stability, which helps to promote global stability.
President Moon was honored by Christine Lagarde, the managing director of the International Monetary Fund. As she introduced President Moon, she applauded him for his willingness to fight corruption, which she described as the key to reinforcing social trust. During his acceptance speech, President Moon dedicated the award to his fellow Korean citizens who raised their voices together to fight against the previous government that was surrounded by the huge corruption scandal last year.
잘 아시다시피 우리 국민들은 지난 겨울 촛불 혁명으로 세계 민주주의 역사에 새로운 희망을 만들었습니다. 가장 평화롭고 아름다운 방법으로 위기에 빠진 민주주의를 구하고 새로운 정부를 출범시켰습니다. 나는 세계적으로 인정받은 우리 국민들의 성취가 내가 오늘 우리 국민을 대표해 세계시민상을 받게 된 이유라고 생각합니다.
Last winter, when the nation saw massive public uprisings against the previous Park-geun administration, President Moon Jae-in sat here at the Gwanghwamun Square together with millions of people demanding a better Korea. After he was elected as the nation's new leader, he pledged to become a president for all and make Korea a country that prioritizes the voices of the public. A few months after his inauguration, President Moon continued to show his love for democracy. He personally visited the southeastern city of Gwangju to commemorate the independence fighters for the Gwangju democratization movement and the National Cemetery to honor the heroes of the April 19th revolution. At Tuesday's event, President Moon Jae-in shed light on such democratic movements and said that Korea was able to show the world that all power in a democratic nation originates from its people. After pointing out the nation's successful path towards achieving democracy, President Moon promised to put the same effort into bringing peace to the entire Korean peninsula.
나는 대통령으로서 수많은 국민들과 악수를 나눕니다. 국민들이 먼저 손을 내밀고 반가워할 때 행복합니다. 동시에 마음이 아파오기도 합니다. 국민들이 제 손을 꼭 잡아줄 때 전해오는 것은 공정하고 정의로운 나라 그리고 평화로운 한반도를 만들라는 간절함입니다. 감사합니다.
The president said that with what we have achieved in the past, Korea will now move towards economic democracy and peace and contribute to solving global problems too. Mok-yeon, Arirang News.